next film I'm going to be talking about is Warcraft. Now this is a film that's highly anticipated by video game fans. I have to admit, I'm not a gamer myself. I'm not a big fan of these types of video games. I do understand the craze though. I mean, I love video games back in the day. I was obsessed with them. But it came to about 12 or 13. I just couldn't be bothered anymore. I just didn't have the time or money, so I just stopped playing them. But yeah, Warcraft, based on the popular game World of Warcraft. And I went to see this film with low expectations. I didn't think it was going to be that great. I was expecting an okay film. I thought it was going to be okay. And it was kind of what I expected. That's not to say it was a bad film. It was good. It definitely was a good film. It wasn't as great as it could have been. That's my biggest complaint, I think. I mean, it had potential to be really great. But I think coming out of the cinema, the thing I had in mind was, yes, it wasn't as great as it could have been, but it was good enough. It was as good as it needed to have been. It's no secret that past video game movies have been all really quite bad. So the fact that this was good, that alone makes this probably one of the best video game movies we've ever had. I mean, it was, like I said, it was good, not great, but it was good as it was as good as it needed to have been for what it was, to be this kind of, you know, to launch this whole new era of video game movies when we get Assassin's Creed at the end of the year as well. I think that will be the first great one. I've got really high hopes for that. I'm a lot more excited for Assassin's Creed. But Warcraft, I thought it was good. It could have been a lot better. There was moments in there that were really great. It was kind of a mixed bag for me because there were some moments that were kind of a little dull, that were a little slow and a little dragged for me, but there was other moments that I really liked and I thought were really great. So it was a bit of a mixed bag. There were some great bits, there were some not so great bits. I think if you're a fan of the game, I think you will like this film and I would recommend going to see it. If you're not a fan of the game, it might be a little bit more of a tougher sell. I mean, I'm not a fan of the game, I haven't played the game. I kind of vaguely know about it. I kind of enjoyed it. I kind of like big, epic fantasy action-adventure movies though. It was kind of in the vein of Lord of the Rings, that kind of thing. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as, say, Lord of the Rings, but you know, with this other world, with these otherworldly creatures and monsters and beings, it was fun to look at. Some of my favourite parts, I really like Paula Patton as the half-orc, half-human hybrid. I think she did a great job. I like the orcs probably more than the humans, actually. I think the orcs were more well-developed and more well-rounded and were more kind of human, surprisingly. They had more to them. You could engage with them a lot more, and especially the lead orc. Unfortunately, the film took some weird twists and turns where the orc you thought was the lead character didn't really end up becoming the lead protagonist, really. The lead human, I thought he did a relatively okay job. Dominic Cooper, he was pretty good as the king. I quite like Ben Foster as the wizard, actually, the guardian, because it was refreshing to see a wizard who wasn't just an old guy with white hair. He was younger looking, but he still had this old, wise feel to him, that he seemed a lot older than he actually looked. He seemed a lot older than he actually was. I think Duncan Jones, the director of this film, did do a pretty good job. You could tell it was by a director who cared about making a good film. It wasn't like a Transformers, you know, it wasn't like it, you know, it just made for the money per se. It was by, you could tell the person who made this film really wanted to make a good film and he really cared about the material. So, and you could feel that coming through. You know, it wasn't a lazily done, sloppy film. You could tell there was a lot of effort put into making this film good. And I think it was as good as it needed to have been. Overall, there were some things that I liked, but there wasn't enough greatness to it to make it a great film, I would say. I am being a little bit vague. I don't want to mention anything specific, but overall, it was an okay film. I think if you're a fan of the game, if you're a fan of big, epic fantasy action-adventure movies, you will really like this film, I would say. For anybody else, I think it'll be a lot tougher of a sell. I don't think everyone's going to like this film. I think it's going to be a bit mixed. I think more people will like it than dislike it. Like I said, it was as good as it needed to be to relaunch this new era of video game movies. I've got high hopes for Assassin's Creed. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Warcraft.